All right, what's up, world? I've been having a debate, and I've been choosing violence when it comes to delegitimizing the pass block win rate and run block win rate stats. Well, guess what? Today, I actually opened up ESPN.com. I searched pass block win rate, run block win rate. What do they mean? And I read some articles on what they mean. I want to talk about pass block win rate first, because I have some things to say, and I still am a little frustrated, but I'm also learning. So we're all going to learn together, and I'm going to basically talk about in this video, should we legitimize them? Should we listen to these stats? Okay, so here's what I don't like. I'll get kind of just like right at the rip. You can find the article, you can read the article itself, but I love NFL Next Gen stats. And actually, what this pass block win rate, run block win rate, and even on defense, pass rush win rate, run stop rate, whatever, it's all NFL Next Gen player tracking data. Now, I love that. If you know me, if you know my page, if you listen to Talking Giants, you know I love the player tracking data. But here's the problem with using player tracking data to determine player performance. Now, it says on ESPN.com, so what can these stats help show? Now we finally have objective individual stats for linemen and their most critical tasks, defending and attacking the passer. We can also know who is blocking whom on every snap, which is true with player tracking data, with pass block win rate. Yes, I think that is absolutely true. Who was double teamed? Yes. Who got pressure from the edges and who got pressure by collapsing the pocket? Yes. All of those things you can determine from next-gen player tracking data. The end result is that we can assess individual performance and team-level performances in the trenches and separate apart from the performance of the quarterback, receivers, and the secondary. I don't know, and this is my thing with NFL next-gen player tracking data and the player tracking, the next-gen stats. I don't think from next-gen stats and the stats that they have online that they have open to the public, I don't know if you can determine player performance. You can't determine player performance by looking at a wide receiver separation. You can't just determine a player's performance by looking at their time to throw, a quarterback's time to throw. You can't just determine a player's performance by solely looking at their CPOE. Now, I think the CPOE player tracking data, that is the stat that is most indicative of actual player performance, but the stretch that ESPN.com and this story, which is written by Brian Burke, ESPN Analytics, not really a story, it's just like, what is the metric? I like it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm encouraged by yes, we can use this as a tool and we can use this as a resource to evaluate how offensive lines work. Now, this is for pass block win rate. I'm not even talking about run block win rate. For pass block win rate, I don't know if we can simply look at player tracking data and say, yes, this is an ability that we can use to solely evaluate offensive linemen. This is why when I look at player tracking data, or even just when I look at data overall, when I look at pressure rate, I am considering pressure rate to be a quarterback stat and an offensive line stat. There's not a lot of stats out there that are like, yes, this is solely a quarterback-driven stat. This is solely a running back, wide receiver, offensive line-driven stat. You need to look at stats and you need to have the understanding that there are more things at play instead of just that one player, right? And I'm talking about more of the advanced stats. Obviously, quarterback yards, that's the amount of yards that he threw. But I'm talking about more of the advanced stats like DVOA with the efficiency, wide receiver separation. A lot of it is mentioned. A lot of it is around scheme, time to throw. Are your guys creating separation? Is your play caller, calling for quick plays down the field? Are you calling a lot of play action? Maybe that's why your quarterback's holding onto the ball for longer. Do they like to scramble? Are they pocket passers, et cetera, et cetera? So you need to understand that when you look at stats, and I try to do this all the time, you need to understand that pressure rate is not just about the offensive line. It's also about the quarterback, and vice versa. A lot of people like to say pressure rate is solely a quarterback stat. I don't know about that. I certainly don't think so. Same thing with sack rate. Our quarterback's holding onto the ball. So that's why I look at pressure rate, because there is that nuance that is there. I don't like the point that pass block rate and what this ESPN article is saying, I don't like the point that they're proving that this is a way to objectively say and evaluate offensive line as a group and then also individual offensive linemen. Okay, that's my thoughts to start out. I just started reading this today. I will read more, and maybe I'll like it one day. Maybe I'll like run block win rate and pass block win rate. But I was just kind of talking about pass block win rate in this video. I guess I'll make another video talking about run block win rate. Sure. Okay. Goodbye.